did it again. I forgot to click the button that says don't let people rewind. Can't believe I did that. Bummer. Whatever. Welcome to the Tuesday Live on Cierra Lueck's profile. I am your local community engagement strategist and Facebook selling guru. I do not do it like anybody else out there. I've seen several different ways that people do it, and I do it different. So when you come here, we are talking about building supercharged, highly engaged communities, and we start with a song like we always do. It looks like we have 3 people watching, so wherever you're tuning in from, if you're tuning in live, put live down below. If you watch this on the replay, put replay down below. Let me know where you're tuning in from, and I have a question for you. Do you love the algorithm or do you hate the algorithm? Drop that down in the comments below and let me know that you are here. Ready? I reformed lyrics again, so I'm hoping I don't mess up. But sometimes I do, and we're live, and what are you going to do about it, right? All right, let's go. Are you coming to the group where they increase engagement, say they grew by 3? Strange things did happen here, no stranger would it be if you came to the group and grew your group by 3. Are you coming to the group? Wins and mistakes as I create, see behind the scenes. Strange things did happen here, no stranger would it be if you came to the group and grew revenue by 3. So starting with a song like we always do, tonight we're going to talk about how to freaking beat the algorithm, because you can work with the algorithm, you can work against the algorithm, you can do all of that, but what if you could just bypass the algorithm altogether? Is that something that you would be interested in learning? Hi Chuck, I got your message and you are on my list for this evening. I had some things happen today, but you are on my list for this evening and I got you covered, man. So that being said, if you are tuning in live, put live down below. Nathan, you are absolutely nuts. Nathan told me this last week that in his household, every time I go live, he's like, shh, Sierra's singing, and he like powers down whatever sound is happening at his house. So that's crazy. Flattered that you choose to laugh at me. I'm pretty sure you laugh at me. I don't know. If you miss the song, every single Tuesday when I go live with a song. Eventually, I'm going to actually take these songs and I'm going to transpose the lyrics and do parodies of them specifically for Facebook groups and for Facebook and for sales and marketing. It's going to be so much fun. Hi Lee, how's it going? If you were watching this live, drop live down below and then let me know. The question I have for you tonight is, do you love the algorithm or do you hate the algorithm? Does the algorithm work for you or has it been working against you? Let me know. I actually had another person message me today and is like, hey, Sierra, so I heard that you know something about Facebook jail. Can you tell me how to get out of Facebook jail? And guess what? If you get in Facebook jail, there is no bail. There is no bailout. You just have to wait until the jail period is over. So I want to let you know tonight, if you didn't watch my avoiding Facebook jail training that I did and you want that, comment down below and I will make sure that somebody on my team gets that to you, because the best way to get out of Facebook jail is just to not get into it in the first place. And it can also completely wreck your future business. If you get in Facebook jail too many times, you can lose your entire business. So we don't want that to happen. So if you need that training, drop it down below. I don't want to see more people in my inbox saying, hey, how do you get out of Facebook jail? Let's avoid it. Let's avoid Facebook jail completely. If you want that training, let me know. Hey, Chris. Glad you like the song, Chuck. Thank you. I might do like a whole long song of that at some point in the future. And if you guys want to hear like the full versions of songs, I will upload them exclusively for my group. And Lee, I don't know if I said hi to you or not, but hi. So tonight we're gonna jump into, and if you guys have any questions about anything related to Facebook groups or the algorithm specifically, because today we're talking about, yep, Chris, I'll get it over to you. Today we're talking specifically about how to beat the algorithm. If you guys want, or if you guys have any questions related to that, just drop it down in the comments below. I always answer live questions as I see them, as they come. So just drop that down in the comments below and I will get those answered. So that being said, I'd asked a question and I don't know that anyone responded yet. I said, do you love or do you hate the algorithm? What do you guys think? What's your opinion of the algorithm? So the first thing that I want to talk to you about is, have you ever been to somebody's Facebook page and you go like it because you want to support them, but then you never pay attention to their content. Your content doesn't pop up in your news feed. You like almost never see it, and when you do see it, you're like, and you click a like because you want to support your friend if you see it, but most of the time you just don't even see it. Has that ever happened to anybody? Has anybody ever seen a Facebook page like that, where, you know, the engagement is like, there's very few, far and few in between are there Facebook pages that actually have high engagement, and we're going to talk about why that is and what makes them different. But first, I'm curious, have you ever seen like a friend or a family member, somebody invited you to like their page and then the engagement is no good? Chris says that the Facebook algorithm is good leverage for both good and bad. Yep. So we're going to talk about how to beat the algorithm and why other people on their Facebook pages, on their profiles, why their groups have better engagement. We're going to cover, and it's simpler than you think. It's a lot simpler than you think. It doesn't have to be hard. Yes, Jesse, what's up? What's up, man? All the way from Spain. Whoo. Boy, you need some sleep. It's amazing. It's awesome to have you on here for the live. I sing at the beginning of my live, so if you missed it, you'll have to go back and watch. But don't do it now. Don't rewind. Stay live with me. All right. So that being said, another place. Let's talk about Facebook profiles. Have you ever been to somebody's profile and it seems like they're sharing really good stuff? Have you ever on your profile shared really good stuff and nobody saw it and nobody engaged with it? It's probably got a lot more to do with how you're sharing information and what kind of information you're sharing, as opposed to just not sharing good information. And then in groups, one of the things that I see a lot of is I'll see a group that it just looks like spam. Like all people are doing is just sharing like advertisement. But what's one of the number one reasons why most people loved Netflix for such a long time, or why most people got DirecTV? It's so they could fast forward past the advertisements, or so they could pay to not have to watch the advertisements. Even YouTube Red, YouTube has that now too, because on some YouTube videos you have to watch an ad so you can watch the video, and YouTube has it to where you can pay to not watch the advertisements. So if you go into a group, or if you have your own group and all it is just advertisements, you think people want to see that? No. And there are crazy people out there selling that you should create a group and talk about your product all the time. And so don't do that. If somebody tells you to do that, don't. And if somebody tells you to use Instagram techniques on Facebook, don't. Yeah, so Chuck says, I have many followers. Some people I did not even know they were my friends when they finally pop into my feed. That's so fun. I love that. Okay, so the other type of group, so spammy, we talked about a spammy group. The other type of group is if you've had a group for a while and then people showed up initially and it seemed like engagement was okay, but then now all of a sudden, or maybe not all of a sudden, maybe it was slowly over time and you just saw it dying and it's like, you're like, no, live. I don't know if you've ever had a plant where you just keep watering it and you're like, no, why are you dying? And then it was because you were over watering it or something. I don't know. That definitely has never happened. I've never done that ever, or have I? But yeah, no, I have a few clients who have had absolutely dead groups, and we've been working on raising their groups from the dead, and it is so much fun to watch it pick back up in engagement all over again. So weight loss groups are 98% spam. I bet. Jesse says, you're talking right to me. The engagement suddenly dies sometimes. It made me think it was my content. Nope. I wasn't talking about anyone that I've worked with specifically. Nope. So one of the other types of groups that I see, because there is this setting where only the admin is allowed to post. And so in some groups, what you will see is the admins are super, super strict. They don't allow people to post. Or they allow people to post, but they have to vet it first. And then if it's anything that alludes to you have an offer and you might be networking with people, like, nope, and they cut it off and they're like, nope, you're done forever. You can't post in here anymore. Or like only the admin posts get engagement. And so you go into a group and there's like 20,000 people in there and you post something and maybe it gets engagement if it's like, say, a viral question and you followed my viral question training. Maybe that gets some engagement, but other than that, like you do some kind of really cool post where you share about a win or you share about some kind of leadership training or whatever, and nobody, just crickets. But if you're the admin, all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, hi, admin. And that's typically a group where the admin is trying to sell something. And there's a lot of groups out there like that, some that are surrounded around podcasts and other things like that, where the admin's just trying to grow their fan following so that their podcast can grow or so that their business can grow. And that's the kind of groups that you see there. And those groups can sometimes be good for networking, but a lot of times only the admin posts are getting engagement. So we want your group to be better. We want your profile page, your profile to be better, and your Facebook page to be better. So that's why we are jumping into beating the algorithm. So if you guys are ready to know it's only two things. It's only two things that we're going to talk about. If you guys are ready to know the two things to beat the algorithm, comment down below, drop an emoji or drop a, you guys, if you liked this, do a heart. Don't do a like, because a heart is always better for the algorithm. And this is how I know if people actually watch my lives. If they're dropping likes on everything instead of hearts, I know that they're not actually watching or tuning into my lives, because I talk about this all the time. Because I think I actually, oh, here it is. I got these, sorry, I'm touching my microphone over here. I got these sticky notes, found them at the store. Oh no, it didn't stick. There we go. I found these sticky notes at the store and I was like, drop a like, but that's great for YouTube. But on Facebook, you want to have a reaction. You always want to have a reaction because that's better for the algorithm for engagement. But again, drop a heart and we're beating the algorithm. So I see some eyes. Thank you, Chris. Chris is like the only person who was like, yes, I want this. Okay, there's Lee with some hearts. We got this. Is anyone else on here? Is anyone else here? Does anyone else want to know what those two things are to beat the algorithm? We don't have to do this here. I could go to my group and just share it with the people who are in my group. I bet they'd want it. Crickets. Let's get one more person to comment down below, and then we will share what those two things are. One more person down below. So I asked a question. I said, do you love or hate the algorithm? And if you're tuning in live, comment down below. Let me know you're here. Don't be a lurker. Don't be a lurker. There we go. We got Jesse. We got Chuck. There we go. Okay, cool. All right. So the first thing that you need to pay attention to if you actually want to beat the algorithm is your content. And I know people everywhere, they have like content calendars, they have content plans. You can buy curated content from other people, which I don't recommend unless you're just trying to learn their style or something like that because you like their style. But there's all kinds of content out there. So this is what you need to think about. You need to create content that people are going to look for. So you don't want to just be putting out content just for the sake of putting out content. Nobody should be doing that. It's a waste of your time. It's a waste of other people's time when they scroll past it because it's not interesting to them. You need to put out content that would actually make people scroll to look for it because they know that your content is coming, right? So the types of content that this would be something that's entertaining. It would be something that actually teaches. Lee, I just created a group. You should go back and find that post and see the post that I put where a lot of people are saying group secrets. So the types of content, again, entertaining, some kind of a teaching post where you're teaching something that's actually valuable. Don't just like touch around the edges. People do this all the time. I see it all the time. It's like the webinar style where you say that something exists, but you don't even say what it is. Like, don't do that. Don't be that person. Like, give them something of value. You can give them something of value without having to give them the thing that cost like the real value, without having to give them all of it. You can give them some kind of a band-aid or a quick fix that they can take and use immediately without having to give your value away for free. Does that make sense? So entertain them, teach them, inspire networking. in your group, on your post, inspire people to actually want to communicate with each other. Like, that's a really big deal. So if you look at some of these viral videos that spread around, what do you see happening down in the comments below? You see people are commenting because the video was so interesting. And then down in the comments below, one of the major things that you see happening is people commenting to each other, not just to the original poster or the original content creator there. They're commenting to each other and actually having conversations with each other. So that's one of the things that you want to be able to do with your content. And if you can do that on your Facebook page and actually report something that's entertaining or something that's teaching, if you can report like news that's actually relevant for your audience or something like that, so that they have a reason to come back and check your page because they know that it's going to have the information they want, that's what you need to be producing. So content is the very first thing that's going to help you beat the algorithm. And the question that I have for that again is, are you giving people a reason to show up? So before you create your content, before you do anything, is this giving people a reason to show up? Is your content giving people a reason to show up? Okay, so the second thing is engagement. It's all about how you actually engage with your audience. Is your content that you're producing, are the words that you're typing out, are they information that makes you sound super interesting? Are they all about you? Is it super selfish sounding? Or is it about your audience? Is it something that's actually going to be like the WIFM, the what's in it for me? Is it something that's actually going to be something interesting for them? Is it going to help them overcome something in some way? And so with engagement, the question that I have for that one is, how are you showing up? Are you showing up to be interested or interesting? So if you act interested whenever you're creating your post and whenever you're engaging with your audience, now all of a sudden you've turned the tables and you've flipped it now to where people are actually going to have a reason to show up, and they're going to like showing up and enjoy it because you're not just being interesting. Have you ever been, it's been a while for a lot of us, but have you ever been to a party and there's the one person who just keeps talking about themselves? Eventually, you're one of the people standing there kind of like internally rolling your eyes like, will this person ever shut up? You know, you don't want to be that person online. Like, the online world, it's insanely more direct and honest than in person. In person, everyone's trying to be nice to each other. Everyone's trying to be kind because you don't know how people are going to react. But online, you have all the internet warriors, and the internet warriors are going to run around and they're not going to like the posts that are not engaging for them. They're going to scroll right past it. And just in case you didn't know, I'm going to throw this out there. On Facebook pages, in Facebook groups, and then on your page as well, it'll say views, like views for, you're supposed to do that internally. That's great. No, it doesn't always happen internally. That's true. If anyone has teenagers, you know. And sometimes kids are doing it now too. They're rolling their eyes at their mom and dad too. But if you are on, I don't even remember what I was going to say a second ago, so we're just going to drive forward with it. If you are on the internet, people are just going to be absolutely more direct with you. They're going to be more open and honest, and you have to show up that way too. You have to be more direct, more open and honest. If it is your intention to sell to somebody when you meet them, they are going to see right through that. They're going to know. I'm actually in a few groups where people post about like bad sales techniques all the time, where people just like call people out. Their name is on there, their picture is on there, and they're like, look what this person sent me. And everyone in the group is like, oh my gosh, that's so spammy. Why would they do that? I hate it when people do that. And it's one of those things that people know. People are so much more direct and honest online than they are in person. And so I encourage you to go out there and create content that is giving people a reason to show up. And then when you engage, how are you showing up? Are you being interested or interesting? So that is it. That's really it. And it really is that simple. If you come from that attitude and that persona, whenever you are engaging online, whenever you're creating your content, whenever you're working on organically growing, it will beat the algorithm, because people are going to show up for people that they're interested in. And eventually, once you beat the algorithm enough and people are actually looking for your content, Facebook tracks that, and Facebook starts helping you with the algorithm, and more people start showing up. So does anyone have any questions other than, are you supposed to roll your eyes internally? Thank you, Chris, for dropping the notes down in the comments below. That's awesome, man. I'm gonna wait for a couple seconds. One of the questions that I asked earlier, in case you jumped on live and you didn't hear the beginning, was, do you love the algorithm or do you hate the algorithm? And is the algorithm working for you or is it working against you? Like, what has been your experience? I know a lot of people who watch my newsfeed and see my stuff, like they know now the algorithm is made to work for you. And I just asked a question about this yesterday, and a bunch of people on there who have been following my content for a little bit were all like, it works for you, it works for you. But I know what they put when I asked this last month, and they did not say the same thing. So it was really fun to see how people have shifted and changed and started working with the algorithm. All right, if nobody has any questions, we're gonna call it for the night. At less than 30 minutes, what? Yeah, in case you didn't know, I don't know if I didn't share this at the beginning. Okay, cool. I went live in my group, and I love crickets, but just not online. That's great. I went live in my group earlier. Here's the funny thing. I went live in my group earlier, and I accidentally had the mic muted. And I also recorded a bunch of like little trainings evaluating people's stuff today. And I'm going to have to go back and watch all of those and see if I had it muted for that as well. I don't know if I did or not. So that was a great first live in my new group, my brand new group. I just opened it up to people a few days ago. I was going to wait and put all the stuff in place and then invite everybody in once it was perfect. But I was like, you know what? I created this C5 strategy. I have so many people out there who are just lurking, who want to see this in action. They want to see it working. I don't know if you've ever seen my training on the 3 different types of buyers. There's the first type of buyer, which is ready to buy immediately. That's only 15% of the market. So if you're using, I also have a training on the 5 different group types for business. It talks about the pros and cons of each. If you want any of those, if you've never seen them before, drop down in the comments below which training. I've mentioned the avoiding Facebook jail training on this live. I mentioned the viral profit training on this live. I also mentioned the 5 Facebook groups for business on this live. So if you want one of those, you have to drop down specifically which one you want in the comments below. But in those trainings, I talk about how if you only are working one of these other groups, you're only addressing 15% of the market. And if you want to hit the other 65% and then the last percentage, 80% of them, 85% of the market is left over. So there's that initial 15% that's ready to buy immediately. But then there's a 65% of the market that they want to actually do a little bit of research. They want the content to drip on them. That is why you need to have a group that is highly engaged, so that people will come in there and they will watch and they will engage and they will love your content and learn about your offer and learn about who you are. Humanizing your brand is such a big deal, because when it comes to people having 3 different choices in the market, do they choose 1, 2, or 3? Well, I'll tell you right now, just scrap all of that out of the way. They choose the one that they resonate with and trust the most. And the way you do that is by humanizing your brand. And so that being said, I opened up my group before it's all perfect so that people could see a little bit of the C5 strategy in action, so that the people who need this and want to be able to work with me but just weren't sure about the process, they can come in there, they can see stuff in action. It's going to be a lot of fun. I don't even have a background image up yet. It's only been open to a few people for a few days, and I'm just kind of letting people dive in there and we're working on creating the group culture. It's a lot of fun. So I see, Randy, you asked for the 5 Facebook groups for business. I will get my team member to reach out and send that over to you. And then I'd love to know if you are creating a group. Let me know, and let me know on the 5 Facebook groups which group you're creating. The algorithm holds my weather alerts or warnings I post. They used to show up 3 days later. Holy cow, that's crazy. But still, a day later is no good. So I date and time them up front. That's really smart. That's really smart. If you have time sensitive information, to put the date and the time on there, that's really smart. Grow and adapt. In the military, we say improvise, adapt, and overcome. So yeah. If you guys want in the group, I'm not even telling the name of the group. I'm not even announcing the name of the group. It's invite only right now. So if you want an invite, it's coming to a messenger conversation right now. It's invite only. I'm only letting a few people in at the beginning, and people are going to see, like, when I went live today and I was muted for like the first minute, looking like a fool, just sitting there talking with silence, the sound of silence. Yeah, that was pretty funny. And not only that, but my lighting was also like really, really off. Like, my camera setting was on one that made it really dark. And so I had to tweak my camera setting for this one. I was also super blurry. Like, it was like one of the worst lives I think I've ever done. So really, really just laughing at myself after the fact, and knowing that it's okay to make mistakes. And guess what? I'm not going to delete it. I'm not going to delete that live from my group. It's pretty funny. So yeah, I will check the comments after the video, and anyone who wants in the group, I will hit you up in Messenger and send you an invite. It's technique builds anticipation. Yeah, so like I said, I opened up the group early so that as I'm testing things out in the group, and as I'm building things up and making mistakes along the way and then fixing them before the actual launch of the group, and before I actually start doing my rapid growth strategy, people can see everything that's going into it and everything that's going into place. So it's a lot of fun, and I'm excited about it. And good news, guys. I'm really excited about this. This is a personal win. My son had his 6-month checkup after brain surgery. So if you've watched my page at all for a while, then you know that my son, he ended up starting having seizures out of nowhere last year, and he was cooking, ended up burning his hands, had 2nd and 3rd degree burns, and has had 4 skin graft surgeries, which we've done lots of. He still wears splints every single night before he goes to bed. He has to put on his splints for overnight so that he can have full range of motion the next day. But he's had 4 skin graft surgeries, lots and lots of rehab for his hands, and it was all related to a tumor that they found in his brain that was causing him to have seizures. And he had brain surgery in March, and they removed the tumor using laser ablation. So they didn't even have to cut out his skull and cut out a section of his brain. They were able to use the laser, which was much less invasive. So, thank God for that. And then he just had a 6-month checkup today, which means that we finally get to start tapering off the medication that he was on for seizures. And I'm really excited about that, because he's been seizure free since March. And so, if anyone prays out there, pray for, just prayer of thanksgiving for my son, just like being thankful for being seizure free and being thankful for healthy and whole, in his entire body. That's what we have our faith out there for. And so he got good news from the doctors, and we get to start tapering off medication this month, and then start a schedule of tapering off. He goes back in for another follow-up brain scan in December, and he also went to the ophthalmologist today because one of his eyes had gotten one of the optical nerves, I think the 4th nerve, had gotten a little bit damaged during the surgery. And so his left eye was pulling a little bit, and his eye has gotten to where it stays straight probably 99% of the time now. It's been several months, but it stays straight 99% of the time. And the only thing that they said is that like when he reads tiny words and stuff like that, because some of the nerves behind the eye, like the muscles behind the eye, they said seemed a little fatigued. And so they said that he might need like just light reading glasses for reading small words just to help amplify the words. But other than that, like his eyesight's great. So we're really excited about that. I wasn't able to go today. My husband actually had to drive all the way to Fort Worth and back with my son. We live in Oklahoma, and they had to drive down to Texas to go see the specialist. But they only allowed one parent to go. And so I stayed at home with my other 4 kids, and we were all here today while they were down there. And so I was just sitting here like watching pictures all day, like wishing I could be there. But anyways, that's just some really good news and things that are happening in my family. Things are moving in the right direction, and we are so very thankful for that. So if you stayed on to watch that update, thank you. If you tuned in live, thank you. If you watched this on the replay, also thank you. And since there were no questions tonight, there were no questions, right? There were no questions. Since there were no questions tonight, I'm going to go ahead and log off for the night and bid you guys farewell and talk to you again on the next Tuesday live. If you are in my group, I'm going live at 5 on Tuesdays, and I will be talking about different things in the group than I talk about on my profile. So it's going to be a very different experience inside of there. It's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait. So thank you. I wish I knew how to pronounce your name. I'm just going to say Sanjiv. I don't know. Correct me. Send me like a voice message in Messenger and let me know how to pronounce your name so that when you tune into the lives, I can say it right. Thank you, Randy. Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Chuck. Thank you, Son. I appreciate you guys, and I will talk to you guys again soon.